to target one person with such claims inside the House? Because as Bwana Kiplagat says, it's pure politics. There's no way a single committee chair can make an allocation to one region or the other.
Good morning once again, Fred.
Good morning, and
asante sana for having us here today. And let me also take this chance also to say thank you to our viewers. It's not routine to wake up in the morning and be in good health to tune in and watch a show or enjoy this kind of conversations in any way or have an informative discussion. So I want to thank our viewers who are Kenyans who care about what's going on in the country, who are tuning in TV 47 today. That said, I think it's very critical to say that before we had this change of constitution, if you think about the Moi era, and all the way actually to even the start of Kibaki era, because he also struggled the same to struggle with the budget making process. It used to be that budget used to be made within cabinet, to the extent that that was very final. There was no the voice of the people's representative to be able to deal with the budget making process. So that's why at some moment it used to be that if you went and knelt in State House to the president, then you would get development projects allocated to your county, I mean to your region, at that time constituencies. And Kenyans desired a situation whereby the members who are representative members in parliament would then take control of the budgeting process, so that the idea of distribution of resources, sharing of resources could be done within parliament. And that means that whatever comes from the national treasury, unlike the era of Moi and the previous constitution, is a mere proposal. It used to be final when it came from the executive during Moi's time. In this new constitution, resources are shared and divided within parliament. So to that extent of that change, it is true that members of parliament can be able to control the budget making process and can be able to determine what resources go where. And of course, that one is not devoid of the fact that the executive can have a hand in that. But then the biggest problem that Kenyans did in that arrangement is that the budget making process, what has become to be named as money bills, was left to the National Assembly instead of the entire House of Parliament, which comprises the Senate and the National Assembly. And this is the rot that we have had, because then it has given, in general, the members of National Assembly so much power in controlling the budget, but even more specifically, members of the Budget Committee. And this manifests for us when we look at what is happening in the National Assembly. We look at it from what we call project distribution, because that's what we can be able to interact with. So for instance, if I'm looking at pending bills at the Senate, and I find that the pending bills on transport and infrastructure, what is currently happening is that they're standing at 175 billion. And that 175 billion, you've got about 39 billion of that, which is about way leaves of project-affected persons. When you find that 60% of that is in one region, then it means that it justifies what the claims of the majority leader and the minority leader in the National Assembly are saying. Because that is the only index I can be able to interact with.
Because and therefore, the budget-making process, isn't it a collective job of Parliament?
No, currently...
Can it be skewed by one individual, a chair of a committee, to actually get skewed projects to one region?
I mean, it is possible, because every committee does their work, and it's not only the Budget and Appropriation Committee, but even Finance Committee and other committees tend to do their works at their own committees, so that the examination, the scrutiny, happens at committee level. So that sometimes when these things come to the House, you've seen houses struggle with what we call quorum, right? In very critical, bills that are being discussed in Parliament, so that at the committee level, a lot of scrutiny happens, and unlike at the plenary level in most of these houses. Okay. So there are some things that can be put in budget that then end up skipping the House. And I'm not trying to throw any aspersions to say that the National Assembly members are not keen on the budget making process, but that is what it indicts. That's what it means.
Okay.
And that's why I'm proposing that I wish that we could change the constitution to make sure that the Senate can also be involved in the money bills and budget making process, because it's a smaller house of individuals who then can be able to look at the holistic element of the budget making process.
Okay. Allow me to welcome Senator Joe Nyoto to this panel. Senator Joe Nyoto is from Murang'a. Good morning, karibu sana. We're talking about what happened in the National Assembly yesterday. Both the leader of majority and minority came after the chair of the Budget Committee, Budget and Appropriations Committee, Ndindi Nyoro, in a thinly veiled attack, probably meant to justify the changes that are coming up. Because many